We just found a freaking giant. He's a big old, I don't know, 31, 32 inches wide with a 3x4 frame and a giant hook cheater. On his left side, big old mature buck, and he's just right below us. He's like 600 yards below us right now. Try to make a plan and hopefully, if all works out, get in nice and close to this buck and get an arrow in him. Wonder how quiet you could be in the bottom of that wash. It's pretty rocky though.
You'd have to be really quiet.
I'm gonna try to stay in the grass. There's just no play from above him right now.
There's not at all.
Which I just want to play it safe. I'll walk a freaking mile around if I have to. Well, that's a cool look. That post is thick. All bladed out. Looks like that typical might be bedded. Oh no, sorry. I'm looking at our buck. He walked past the typical just barely. So now our buck's on the very top. And that's the typical. He's right above it. You can just see his back fork. It's in the lid. I think he might have just bedded. The way his head looked like, yeah, and you cannot see him.
So I'm watching Skylar do this stalk, and there was one spot on this ridge top he has to work his way down that we were really nervous about. It looks pretty cliffy, and it looks like there's one little draw that's cliff and then another draw that's cliff. And I just watched him, and he made his way through both of those and safely got on the back side. He had to cross to the front for a second. We were nervous that he would be visible to those bucks, but looks like he made it, and he's shedding his coat and stuff, so he must be out of sight, and things are looking good. The bucks are still bedded, and probably have another 30 minutes to an hour before the sun hits their trees, so he's gonna work his way down there and see what the wind's like and try to make a play, see what he can make happen down there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on him, and hopefully they'll sit still for a minute and let him get close. But this is freaking awesome. This makes all the miles, the heavy packs, the cold nights, makes it all worth it. We've been a little down the last couple days because every person we ran into is like, we're moving out, there's no deer in here, there's nothing, and we've seen people pack up camp and leave, and it's day 4 of the hunt, though we've been kind of a little discouraged because we haven't seen any bucks up in here yet. Not anything good especially, so this is a nice little morale booster, and hopefully he can go 1 for 1 on his stock on this trip, so let's hope he gets it done.
Well, I made it to the bottom. I can talk a little bit louder just because I got this stream next to me, but I'm about 530 yards from the bucks. The problem is they're bedded in a perfect spot where they can almost see me coming from any direction. I'm finally out of their sight right here, and I'm hoping if I stay in this bottom, I'll keep out of their sight. The wind's kind of swirly too, so not sure what to do. Might just hang tight for a minute and see what happens. But let me show you this bottom real quick. So the deer are right there, bedded. There's 3 bucks. I don't know. See what happens. He's a freaking giant though.
And they randomly busted for no reason.
freaking sucks. It's within like 450 yards. Could see them, but I had trees in between me and them, and I was just hanging out here in the shade, actually, waiting for the wind to get better. And I looked back up to check on them again after being here for about 10 minutes and couldn't see them. And then I looked up further and they had busted out. They were looking down into the bottom. I don't know if something else is down there or if maybe they winded me. This wind is super swirly, but I'm still quite a ways away, so really sucks though, because that deer is freaking impressive. Like, video doesn't even do him justice. Like, I've seen a lot of big deer in my life, and this is just one of those deer that is big. Like, he's probably not gonna score big, but just got a frame, giant body, big old hook cheater, heavy, just ugh. Oh well. Nicole's up on top. She watched the bucks go up and out, so she's gonna swing along the top of the ridge and then hopefully see where they go, glass them up again. So now for the long hike out of this hole, and then maybe if we're lucky we'll get to do it again.
No freaking way. So since we saw the bucks last, they cross over a saddle. There were some hikers coming right to them, and Skylar was still like clear off in the bottom, and so I like basically ran a mile so that I could see this huge basin where they went down into to see if I could find them again. And I've been here, sitting here glassing for probably 2.5 hours. I had almost given up. It's heat wavy. I can hardly see through my scope. And I glassed a few last patches of willows that are at the very end. Didn't expect anything. And then boom, freaking all 3 bucks right there. Not only that, but right when I got the scope on them, the big buck bedded. They are probably in a good spot for a stalk. I think we're gonna get a second play on these bucks tonight. We still don't know what happened, why they blew out, but either they caught some wind or they were a little spooked early on. Something was in there, but it's a long ways away from where they went. They probably went 2 miles, but I just got stupid lucky and picked them back up, so maybe game on today. Let's see what we can do.
Just about to the top. It's been quite a while. It's a freaking climb. But I just heard from Nicole and she hasn't found again, so whew. We're gonna push ourselves to the limits today. So she says they're in a good spot. We're gonna try to go get another stalk, make this one count. Screwed up on the last one coming from the bottom. The wind was just bad and it just was a bad setup. I didn't think it was physically possible to go in from the top though, so hindsight probably would have went from the top or been patient and let them move. Anyways, looks like we're gonna get another chance to chase them, so let's do it. Alright, I'm dropping the pack and then get my bow and go down. Nicole says I'm about 150, 200 yards above him right now. He's not in a great spot right now, so I might go get set up for like an ambush, hoping he's gonna feed out, but she says she thinks he's gonna get up and feed soon. He's acting restless and the sun's about to hit him, so let's see if we can make this happen. Good thing I got the sheep feed today. Oh yeah.
There are the bucks. You can see the typical bedded in the bottom, and the bigger buck is all lit up above him. But I don't think there's any way to shoot this buck out of his bed right now, so hopefully he feeds out in front of him and Skylar can get set up and ready. But it's going to be 50-50 odds, so we'll see what happens. Skylar is right there. He took off his boots and got his socks on and he's headed down, so this is a very, very tricky stock, so honestly I don't think it's very high odds just because of how thick this stuff is. But they're here, they're bedded, and we're gonna try to give ourselves a chance. Alright, both of the bucks are up feeding, so I'll watch him and see what he does. I think he's just switching beds. The sun was on him, so hopefully he beds in a good spot. That other spot he was in was impossible to stalk into, so.
Well, I was getting down there, going down in my bare feet, my socks. It was getting pretty close, and nothing happened. They just randomly got up and started feeding downhill, and now they're closer to the bottom than they are the top, and it's kind of a long shot to go in from here, so I'm back to my pack. Gonna put my shoes back on, and yeah, make a plan. Hopefully Nicole can turn him up again and we get on him. Freaking beat though, freaking exhausted. But that's bow hunting the high country, so keep getting after it. Man, I'd sure love to catch up to this buck. He's freaking cool.